Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I want to get into the specifics now of the layout for the gallery. Specifically, we want to talk about this record edit, and right now we can see that it's pretty much full screen, but I want to talk a little bit more about when I am in this gallery. One, for the cont records, which is container records, I want to show you what's happening on click. So let's go ahead and click on the edit. Then let's come over here to do unselect. And what you can see that I'm doing here is creating a variable. And I always prefix my variables with a lowercase v so that I can find them. And then, you know, when you're looking for them over here, you can just see vexit, vedit toggle. We'll get to these later, but this is the V record. And you can see that this record is blank. There's nothing in it. If I hit view record, you can see everything's empty. And the reason it's empty is because I haven't populated it, because I haven't clicked on a row in my gallery to fire off this to make it select. So you can see right now it is blank. Okay, the other thing I want to show you on the gallery level, not the selection. So let me come back over here. Click on gallery again. Let's go down to width. Now the width is set to the parent, okay? So the parent of this is going to be the container. So now if I look at the parent's, the parent being the container's width, I can say if is blank process records, and I'm setting it to a width of 1354 pixels. And I got that number by simply just sliding the gallery left and right, and I watch the number that shows up here in the size for width, and I'm like, oh yeah, 1354 is about what I want. And then I sized it up the way that I wanted it to look when I wanted it collapsed. So this is how you provide dynamic values, and if you do it at the container level, right, then everything aligns perfectly. If you do the gallery, which you saw, I set its width to the parent so that it follows whatever the container size is. That way you're not having to have all this craziness going on. So when I do a selection of an item in the gallery, all of a sudden now the container shoots and shrinks down to 500. Similarly, if we look at this, this item, and we go scroll down, we're onto this label, but if I scroll up, I'm in the details container. So if I look at the details container, I don't know, I clicked on something here, container details, and I come down to the width, I'm basically saying that this is 850 pixels wide. I'm not doing anything dynamic here, but what I am doing something dynamic on is the visibility. And I'm saying is, and if the variable is blank, and, well, basically, if the process record is not blank, and if the edit toggle is not set, then go ahead and show this, okay? And there's a reason for that, because when I click on this pencil icon, I need this to go away, and I need my edit container to show. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but nonetheless, just wanted to call that out. So essentially, this is just being hidden and shown. I'm not doing anything funky with the width. It is the same. So because the container for edit and details is over here, I'm simply having to hide these containers because the container records that I am dynamically doing the width on is underneath, is lower than these other containers. So if I didn't hide them, then I would have this weird overlay overlapping because of the way this is. If you've ever used Photoshop and you understand layers, or you've ever used PowerPoint or whatever, and you use the send to front, send to back, it's just basically like if you had something in the real world, if you were laying something on a piece of paper, one item is on top of another item on top of another item. That's all we're showing here in this tree view. The highest item in the stack is the one that's the highest one on the layer of paper. In this case, the paper is a screen called home. And so this is essentially just a layering technique. And so that's really all that there is in here. Now, the rest of these, I don't have anything else going on over here, but that's how you provide dynamic or accordioning type of containers based on certain use cases. And so you can see that I have an add button and an edit button. When I click the edit button, I'm doing something else. I'm toggling the edit toggle to true, which then flips some switches and allows me to show the edit container. And I'm just setting visibility based on a lot of things. And you can use or, you can use and so I'm checking for two conditions that, and you can flip or get the inverse of these by using not, the not operator. And so that just basically says, is this blank? True, yes, it is blank. Well, I don't want it if it's blank. I want it to the fact that it actually doesn't have any records, and that the toggle is toggled. So, right? So if it is blank, that's true, I want to flip it. I want to use the opposite. And if there are records, I'm going to get the inverse of that as well. And that's all that pound symbol or exclamation mark does. Whatever your Boolean check is, you just need to flip it to the inverse of that. All right. So this isn't a kind of a course on Boolean logic or and or anything like that, but just wanted to show you how these are done. All right. So this application is available for you to play with. Somehow I'm seeing some weird item that showed up on screen, and I can't seem to get to it. Let's see, where is it? Is it in this stack? Yep, it is. It should not be there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, somehow I had an extra one of these embedded into there. It shouldn't be in your code. If it is, you can find it and delete it as well. Anyway, so that's it for this short video. We'll see you in the next one, where we're going to talk about the banding tricks that we've done, which is over here. I guess since we're in this screen, I'll just add one extra quick thing to this video. I'll change my mind here. So let's go back to the records, and I want to do a call out on the gallery. So when you're in a gallery and you click this little pencil thingy, right, this is how you do the layout. And whatever you do the layout here, everything else downstream follows. And so with the gallery going on, I got a couple things going on. First, let's talk about the items, because I'm saying if is blank, radio dial selected. Okay, so this is this radio dial thing up here, and I have this based on the categories of statuses that are in there, and I'm simply just sorting and filtering based on the selection. So whatever the item is selected in the radio, I'm passing that in, and I'm filtering the list based on whatever that selection is. So a very simple filter, and that's what that filtering is done there. The other thing I want to highlight and show that a lot of people seem to struggle with, because they don't realize that it's there, is when you're in a gallery and you've clicked the pencil icon. That's the key. You have to click the pencil icon in order to find this property. This is called template fill. And so what I'm saying here, if the current item happens to be selected, and so you get this very specific context that shows up, but only after you click this edit gallery item. Then you can use the syntax. If this item is selected, that property is basically saying, hey, if this row is selected, and you don't know because you're editing the template right now. So this is why it's template fill, and this is why you get a little bit different nomenclature or different wording is the way this is, but this is the giveaway. And it reads as plain English. If this item is selected, then make the color this. Otherwise, then just make that. So it only is going to show this pink color, or this kind of washed out pink color, if that row is selected. So if I hit Alt and I do supply chain optimization, now that one is highlighted. And that's how you pull that trick off with the template fill, if you weren't aware. Anyway, so now I will end the video here. I showed you the filtering mechanism and also the template fill, just so that you can see how that effect was done there. And then we've got this other item within the template editing, which we have up here, and it's simply just bringing back that shape. The only difference here, I've got some funkiness going on with the fill. There is some pretty crazy logic that's here that I will get to in just the next video because I want a separate dedicated video just to this concept alone. As you can see, the code is gnarly, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to show you why and how you can solve this problem, because this is a problem in and of itself. All right, we'll see you in the next video where we'll pick this back up.